before we get started, I want to say that this video was inspired by a very good video by Mint Skull that you should check out if you want to see more information about the dumb monetization system in Dead by Daylight. That video is linked in the description. That being said, I have spent a lot of money on this game. I think Adam was the only character I ever really purchased with iridescent shards before I really started to shell out cash in this game I got for free with PS Plus back in 2008. There's two big problems in this community that I want to try and fix. I've been playing this game for a very long time, and I go on Twitter, and there's a few things that I see get complained about. Issue 1 is the Shrine of Secrets, which, this is one of the big things that I'm taking from Mint Skull's video. For those of you out of the loop, Dead by Daylight. It's a PvP game. You got perks to help boost your performance, and one way you get those perks is through the Shrine. Every week, 4 perks pop up in it, 2 for survivors, 2 for killers, and you can buy them for iridescent shards, which is the level up currency in the game. This is a selection that refreshes like once a week, and there's no way for us players to truly know what will be in it before it actually refreshes. A major issue with this is that since the amount of perks in the game is constantly growing with every new chapter release, the chance of getting any specific perk goes down consistently, meaning it's going to be harder and harder to get any one specific perk. With the release of the newest chapter, Tools of Torment, which, if I got this video out on time, is today, there are 228 perks in the game. It's not evenly split, it's not exactly 50-50 between killers and survivors, but regardless, you've got less than a 2% chance of any one perk showing up. As Mint Skull brings up in his video, it's pretty hard to get some of these perks in the game if they belong to a licensed killer. Unlike Dead by Daylight's original killers, such as Trickster, Artist, Deathslinger, you can buy these guys with the iridescent shards. Big names like Freddy Krueger and Leatherface gotta be purchased with Unique Cells, which are a currency you can only get by spending real money. Technically, you can get them in the Battle Pass Rift thing that they've got going, but you'll only ever get back the exact same amount you put in, so. But yeah, the Shrine of Secrets, that's the only way for people to get perks of licensed killers without spending the additional money to buy the killers and then level them up to put the perks in everybody's blood web. People have said that this kind of makes the game a little bit pay to win, since perks that are really good with niche builds are locked behind licensed killers, like Lethal Pursuer on Nemesis, or Corrupt Intervention on Plague, which, maybe not now, but definitely a while ago was in the meta. And, having strong perks like that can really hurt you in a PvP setting, which, is most of this game. Now, a separate issue that I think we can use to solve this first issue is with blood points. This game's third currency. You only get these through playing the game, and if you purchase a perk in the Shrine of Secrets you already own. You level up characters with these, you get everybody their little medkits and toolboxes, flashlights, their Moris, and their rotting oaks, and their bloody party streamers and all that. Items that will actually affect your in-game experience. Behavior's recently made a few changes to these, including a Q bonus, which can up to double your blood points at the end of a match if you play in a role that needs more players to fill the slots. Made it so that you can earn a maximum of 40,000 just by playing before any point boosts, as opposed to the previous 32,000. Increased the cap of blood points from 1 million to 2 million, and everything was made cheaper as well. So we're racking in all of these blood points, and it's so much harder to spend them now. Here's my proposed solution. You let people prestige perks for blood points. And hear me out on this. The system I imagine is that you can buy one tier of one perk for the full blood point cap of 2 million points. Furthermore, as a nice little quality of life thing, you can just buy any perk. That's right, any perk. We don't gotta wait for whatever behaviors slotted in over the last week. No. You can just choose any of them. Like, you just go to the character menu, you select a perk, and then you just buy it. And I understand that there are some good things to this and some bad things about this, so let me talk about the grind, because the grind is obviously what's being circumvented here. If you are spending all these blood points, you're not spending the iridescent shards on the killers, perhaps, or maybe you're not even shelling out money for auric cells to purchase these killers. here. According to this moment in Mint Skull's video, it takes approximately 35 hours to grind up 9,000 iridescent shards to buy a character. So, my idea is that if it takes more time to grind up enough blood points to prestige a character's perks 3 times each, there is a chance we could add it, because it's not a faster, easier method. Maybe it's slightly more convenient if you want to just purchase a single perk, but ultimately, if you wanted to get all 3 perks leveled up like that, it should still be easier to purchase it with the level up currency of iridescent shards. So I drained my account of all the blood points I could, and then I grinded. And I recorded the time. And it came out to a little bit over 4 hours. Now hey, if we take that 4 hours of 4 minutes, multiply that by 9, boop, we got 36 hours, which means, would you look at that, it's gonna take a bit longer. Not necessarily obscenely longer so that nobody would use it, but what do you know, it is longer. Now another angle that might make you think, oh, Behavior would never want to add this, is the fact that they make money off of Auric cells. You purchase them directly for cash, of course they're making money off of it. This is where we need to look at less from the purchasing perspective and more of the logic perspective. If people are going to go out of their way to try and grind up these perks, and now let me be clear, I didn't squad up with 3 other survivors, all of us using frightful flans and playing to make the most efficientness out of this. This was me playing on my own, getting whoever happened to get in my lobby, which means on one end of the spectrum, got tunneled out pretty quickly and made almost nothing. And on the other end, saw 2 people bring in frightful plans. One of them being a survivor and one of them being a killer, so they couldn't even have coordinated that. This is my perspective from your average miscellaneous player, somebody who's not on comms, someone who's just casually playing. So if somebody's just casually playing, they just want a single perk, they're probably not going to shell out the extra $5 to purchase the character that has the perks they want. Like, sure, there is going to be a small group, relatively, of people who are going to forego purchasing Auric cells or using their iridescent shards to buy the characters now, but how many people in the player base are realistically going to spend that money in this? It's objectively a longer grind if you want to get everything. However, it does make it easier if you just want a single perk. Like, you don't want the character, you're not going to play the character. You know how many times I've actually played as Trickster since he came out? I played him for like the first week, and then I never picked him back up again, because I can't aim for shit. However, No Way Out, that perk gets used all the time. That's a really good perk. It's an amazing endgame perk. I'm sure if people thought like me, where they didn't want to shell out the extra money for the chapter, they just wanted No Way Out, then bam, they can just spend 6 million blood points and never have to think about it again. They'd still have to be playing the game to grind up that much. Sure, maybe they could mitigate some of that time, but there's only so much they can do. They still have to play the game, and ultimately, they are doing this to get a perk that will keep them playing the game. It's an easier alternative. It brings the player base overall together by making it so that you don't have to be lucky or have a bunch of extra cash to spend on this game in order to have an easier time with stronger perks. I just think it's a better system. And let's talk about the distribution of perks. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to get rid of the Shrine of Secrets. I don't want it to go the way of the Survive with Friends option. I think we should keep this Shrine of Secrets, and we should just change what it does. Like, perhaps, even with keeping the 4 slots, we'll just make it give a discount. 25% off, boom, that's 500,000 less blood points you have to spend. Make it a bit easier, for that week. And hey, if it took me 4 hours spread over a few days to grind up enough for, ideally, 1 tier of these perks, then having people potentially want to grind up 4.5 million over the course of a week, I think that's a very reasonable amount of time. Maybe even make it so that you can freely use tier 1 of any perk in the shrine for the week it's out. I mean, we already see spikes of those perks being used when they go in the Shrine of Secrets. Why not embrace it? And even from the luck side, like, let's look at a collection of perks from chapters 19 and 20. So this is like late 2020, early 2020, where these chapters were coming out. I decided to look at, the Shrine of Secrets record page, and I apologize for how disjointed this video feels. I'm just half rambling off a script right now. Every perk from chapter 19 has shown up once. All of them between October 20th and November 24th of 2021. None of those perks have shown up since late 2021 in the Shrine of Secrets. Then we look at Chapter 20, the Resident Evil chapter. We have only seen perks from that chapter, which has 3 characters in it 3 times. Lethal Pursuer, Flashbang, and Flashbang again, which makes me think that this isn't just rotating through each of the chapters, cause why have we only seen Lethal Pursuer once a couple weeks ago? Why have we seen Flashbang twice, and why have we never seen a Jill perk then? And I mean, even thinking about that, why don't we look at the chapter before then, with twins, a binding of kin? We've seen people complain about the twins a lot, but hey, what do you know? Coup de grace? It's shown up 4 times. Oppression? It's shown up twice. Hoarder has been in the Shrine of Secrets 6 times. And Elodie, we've got seen Power Struggle twice, Deception 3 times, Appraisal 4 times. These perks were only out for 3 months before All Kill, for 6 months before Resident Evil. Elodie's perks alone have shown up as many times as all of the perks in All Kill and Resident Evil. 3 to 6 months isn't going to do that. That's why I think we should be able to buy these perks directly and spend a max cap of blood points on them. It's still going to be a grind, so realistically, behavior is unlikely to see it as a faster alternative that's going to lose the money. It makes it a lot more fair for the meta, so we don't have to worry about a nurse who is able to shell out a bunch of extra cash on every chapter with all the perks that are relevant right now. It helps to level the playing field a bit. And this isn't like nerfing perks so that the skill floor gets raised up for everybody. It just gives more access to the good perks to everybody. And I think it could really improve quality of life. This has been a very loosely fueled rant. I don't know if you can tell that I wrote this script at 2 in the morning, but yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Does this sound crazy? It probably does. I don't have an outro.